If you could just say your name and what you studied and where.
And my full name?
Just anything. Harry's good.
Harry.
It's anonymous anyway.
Did hairstyling at St. Lawrence.
And what did you do in university previous
Did
to that?
biology at Guelph.
Okay. What were your key motivations for initially going to university?
I wanted to be a doctor.
You wanted to be a doctor. Okay, so why did you choose Guelph out of any university?
It was just smaller, a little bit more chilled out.
Okay. Are there any highlighting points as to why you chose that over in other universities?
They had more of a focus on agricultural science too, and botany, which was also a little bit more interesting to me then.
Okay. And as I know you didn't finish that degree, why did you drop out and change paths?
Because I was super stressed at school. So I just left for a year. I didn't want to drop out there, I just deferred for 4 years.
Or you deferred it?
So I had a 4-year deferral, and then when I came back, I went away for a little bit, then started working at Brett's. And then after 4 years, I was like, screw this, I want to keep this up.
Okay. When you initially went to post-secondary education, did you ever consider studying internationally?
Yeah, I tried to apply to schools in England too.
In England?
Yeah, I was studying for my UK CATs. My dad was like, you should study for your UK CATs and everything like that.
Which is?
It's like the sort of admittance exams for applying to medical school.
Oh, right.
It's like MCATs, but UK.
Right, that makes sense. Which universities in the United Kingdom did you apply to, and why?
I didn't apply in the end because you had to do your UK CATs first, but I was looking into Exeter just because I was in Devon.
Right. What were your, what made you want to go back to the UK?
Just because it's medicine's a post-grad program, you don't need to do not post-grad, it's like a...
Undergraduate?
Yeah. You don't need to do it as a post-grad.
Is there anything else that made you want to go back to the UK, or?
Yeah, just see family. I felt like after failing at school here, I should just go back there.
Right. What universities did you look at other than Guelph?
McMaster and... No, not McGill. No, McGill.
McGill, okay. What information about universities do you believe is important that students know before applying and accepting an offer of enrollment?
I don't think anything really. I think truthfully it's just are you ready to go to school? I mean, you could have fun wherever, to be honest. Literally, you could go to any school. It could be super fun if you're ready.
Yeah.
But if you're not ready to go to any school, and if people tell you that you're ready, that's the bad thing about KC is everyone's like, oh no, you have to go to school. You should go to school. Oh no, you're definitely ready for university. And then you go and it's fuck, why did I come here?
So what are your thoughts on university now that you went and didn't finish?
Well, I see my sister who loved it, and she's now, a lawyer now. I'm like, good for you. But I see George, who does nursing in university in England. He loves it. But he went to Halifax, right? I don't know. Tabby did university, loved it. Got a degree for her massage therapy.
Right.
It definitely works for some people, but
yeah.
Both Tabby and George, even me doing my college degree, that was only after trying it at first and taking some time off.
Right.
I think you need time.
So out of your experience, witnessing other family members as well as yourself going to university, what makes a university appealing to them? What attributes of these universities makes them appealing?
I think the social side for sure. I think you definitely need a social side. Guelph didn't have that.
So it's got to be...
If Guelph had more of a social side, I totally could have stayed for sure, but it was very isolating.
What was isolating about it?
I think it's just I had a freaking res which looked like a prison.
Right.
So I think that alone is super, super just frustrating.
Right. What do you think the university could have done then to make it less isolating for yourself? I know you obviously came internationally.
More like what Queen's does. It was annoying as it is, the Frosh Week at Queen's, I think it's it gets people pumped up about the school. It gets people passionate about the school. I think if you're more passionate about the school, so you'd be more willing to actually succeed and do well and
What would make students passionate about a school?
Having like big fun frosh weeks and good big events like homecoming, and as frustrating as it is for Kingston people, like they shut down City Park and they let all the students like roam around there and
Yeah,
paint themselves and just be like hooligans downtown.
fair enough. Do you feel that students that study internationally get more value in their education than the students that stay domestic?
No, they probably get a little bit more perspective on life because they get to see something else.
Okay.
But I think a lot of the time, just like from me with a lot of my clients, I think if people go straight away to do an undergrad overseas,
Mm-hmm.
I think like, yeah, it can make them seem, I think they just seem more cultured, right? Like just a little bit more, I don't know, I don't really know the word I'm looking for. Like just,
Aware.
yeah, because you don't just see the same people.
Yeah.
But then I think some people too like take it too far and they just think like, you know, if they go overseas then they have to stay there or they come back. And a lot of my clients who like big it up to me and like basically say, oh yeah, I would only go back to do my schooling in Germany.
Right.
I think,
If you were to go back and do schooling, would you do it in Canada or would you do it abroad?
I don't know, it depends what I would do. If I was to do something more, I don't even know how to go back to school for.
Hypothetically.
It depends where I could get the best program, to be honest. Because if it's something more specific, like I'd love to do anything to be a blacksmith, right? I think it'd be so sick. I could be a blacksmith. I think it'd be sick.
You can do it.
But going to the States might be a better option, or somewhere,
Right.
you know, somewhere where maybe they have a bit more of a older school focus.
Right.
I don't really know though.
Okay, you're obviously not from Canada. Did you experience any culture shock when you moved here? And if so, talk about it.
Apart from people saying "say Harry Potter" to me every single day, and people talk about my accent.
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, like, the people here are totally different for sure, but that happens everywhere.
Different than the UK?
Oh, yeah.
What are the differences? What are the differences that students should be aware of if they were going to move abroad to the UK from Canada?
From Canada to the UK?
Let's say someone who's never been to the UK is in Canada.
You should just tell them to calm down, that they're not making fun of you, they're just joking around.
Okay.
That'd be the biggest thing. Because over here, like, half the stuff you say over there, you'd say to someone here and they'd be like, oh my god.
Like offended by it?
I can't believe you offended me. So you just tell them to stop being offended.
Right.
That's fair.
When you moved here, did you experience any isolation or loneliness related to your international relocation?
Yeah, I just missed my friends. I was already, like, adamant that I was going to hate it too. When we moved, I just told myself we'd hate it.
Right.
Mum and Dad were like, oh, we're only going for 2 years. So I was like, oh, yeah, I hate it here. I miss my real friends.
Right. If you could go back in time and either defer the university, go to St. Lawrence College, and then become a hairdresser, would you do the same path? Or what would you do differently, if anything?
I don't know. I think that's a weird question because to go back in time is like almost saying that you regret something, which I don't regret anything.
Right.
But definitely I'd be curious as to whether I would have taken a different path if I stayed at school.
Right.
Maybe if I went to a different school, would I have still dropped out?
Right.
I mean, right now in my life, I know looking back, like, I would never have the mentality to be a doctor.
Right.
Ever. Like, that's not me at all. I want to do that.
Yeah.
I prefer just to chat to people all day and just do stuff like that. But
Yeah.
whether that means being a stylist or having another job,
Mm-hmm.
I could be a counselor,
There
maybe.
you
I
go.
don't know. But I don't know. I feel like to regret things or to go back in
Yeah.
time and like to look back and think I should have done this.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that would instantly be a trigger in my mind where I'm like, I should change.
Right. Unrelated, but how many hours per day do you spend on social media?
I don't know. Or about at least one.
At least 1 hour?
100%. Like,
And a maximum of?
if you added it all together,
Yeah.
and like me even just picking up my phone for a couple minutes going on it, would at least be an hour.
Okay.
Um,
How about your family who are still students? How many hours a day do they spend on social media, would you say?
yeah, this probably I wouldn't spend like an hour every day, but like the days I'm working,
Yeah.
for sure. Because I just stop and I just look at it. Tabby, I don't know, pretty decent amount. Tabby, Polly, and George, like we all communicate with each other on social media.
Yeah.
It's like our main way of speaking to each other.
Okay.
Mum and Dad don't use it at all.
What sort of marketing material do you find most effective for yourself?
Instagram.
Instagram marketing? Okay. Could you expand on that? Like what sort of...
Just more like online marketing for like students and things, and using something like Instagram where you can see hashtags and make people like more aware of your own
Right.
business.
What sort of marketing material do you use for yourself when finding clients, since you're now in the workplace, obviously?
I really find clients. Like you mean like yeah, they find me.
Okay.
I never go looking for them. To find clients, I give people.
Or to promote yourself,
I'd give like a 25% off card to someone.
Right.
Like I'd be like, yeah, you give this to another client, you get 25% off. They get 25% off. But
Right. All right. That concludes our interview. Thanks, Harry.
That's good, man.